The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission's Chief Executive Officer, Halakhe Waqo, is a man under siege tonight. A number of issues have been raised regarding his conduct. He now finds himself in what may well be termed as a litany of errors. Some claim he could be working as a lone ranger and making unilateral decisions to safeguard certain government interests. Just this week, EACC's new chair, Philip Kinisu, admitted before a parliamentary committee that former devolution secretary Anne Waiguru was cleared unprocedurally and is being investigated afresh. So, tonight we ask, should the CEO quit and also be investigated? Political affairs reporter Duncan Khaemba takes a look at this issue.
The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Chief Executive Officer Halakhe Waqo has been and continues to be under fire for the manner in which he appears to be running the show. A situation that has attracted calls from a section of political leaders led by Firebrand Nandi Hills Member of Parliament Alfred Keter, who are now calling for a staff overhaul at the Secretariat.
I will petition Parliament so that we ensure that we have a clean EACC, an institution that can fight graft.
Controversy and suspicion about his dealings at EACC started last year in April after President Uhuru Kenyatta presented to Parliament a 175-member list of shame on corruption during his second State of the Nation address. A list that was contested with the then EACC Commissioners Mumo Matemu, Irene Keino and Jen Onsongo categorically stating they never authored the list since investigations were still underway. Claims emerged from the opposition that President Kenyatta's list was a parallel one authored by the CEO, which had omitted names of some individuals, including former devolution CS Anne Waiguru and IEBC Chairman Isaac Hassan.
He is actually not going for the real culprits. He goes for people who are politically safe.
After the hounding out of office of the immediate former commissioners, Halakhe Waqo was the man in charge at the EACC, whereby it's alleged a litany of errors soared high. For instance, on the ever-changing twist in the National Youth Service saga, Waqo wrote a letter to State House Chief of Staff Joseph Kinyua absolving CS Anne Waiguru of any wrongdoing in the 791 million shilling NYS scandal, only for businesswoman Josephine Kafura to emerge with an affidavit detailing how Waiguru was allegedly at the center of the IFMI scam. In the first place, that letter by Waqo clearing Waiguru should have been sent to the Director of Public Prosecutions and not State House. How the DPP's office was bypassed and State House communicated to raised more suspicion on whose instructions was Halakhe Waqo acting on.
If you goofed, then the chair, the commissioners, and the CEO need to vacate office.
On Eurobond saga, the EACC CEO dismissed claims by opposition code, saying there was no evidence that money had been lost, only for the Director of Public Prosecution Keriako Tobiko to order fresh investigations into the matter. Report presented within 10 days.
There has been a lot of flip-flopping. There has been, even the courts themselves say that, their reporting mechanism on investigations were not correct.
That one I would wish to leave it to the process.
Campaign appears to be on form from across the political divide to have Waqo leave office if war on corruption is to be taken seriously.
There is just generally lack of professional work that is being done.
If Uhuru wants to fight corruption, let him go for people who are actually engaged in corruption. Why are people so brazen on the issue of corruption? Look at the case of the youth funds. Mr. Odhiambo actually acknowledges that there was corruption in the way the matter was dealt with. What are we seeing? Absolutely nothing being done.
It would appear for the EACC, the more things change, the more they remain the same. Will the Philip Kinisu-led commission be the game changer in the fight against corruption, or will they be hurriedly hounded out of office as their predecessors? Duncan Khaemba, KTN News.